in 1965 and was formerly known as Longhorn Kenya Limited in November 2014. It was listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange on in May 2012, and the company has operations in Uganda, Tanzania, and Rwanda. Its main business is the development, publication, marketing, and distribution of educational and general books. Longhorn Publishers Limited is listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, and Longhorn Publishers is traded on the Nairobi Stock Exchange under the symbol LKL actually, and the International Securities Identification number of the Longhorn Publishers is KE2000002275. Longhorn Publishers Limited is currently the 45th most valuable stock on the Nairobi Stock Exchange out of the 65 stocks, and with a current market capitalization of 847 million Kenyan shillings, it makes about 0.042% of the Nairobi Securities Exchange equity market. Now, as of yesterday, the index here for, let's look at the price for the Longhorn Publishers. It went up by 0.19 Kenyan cents to about 3.3 cents per share, which is a 6.11% rise or appreciation in price over the past 24 hours as of yesterday. The current share price, 3.3, closed its last trading day at 3.11, of course, per share on Nairobi Stock Exchange. That is on the previous day, Monday, recording a 1% gain as well on Monday, and about closing at about 3.08. Longhorn Publishers began the year with a share price of 4 Kenyan shillings, but has since lost 22.3% of that price valuation, ranking it 54th on the Nairobi Stock Exchange in terms of year-to-date performance. The Longhorn Publishers is the 41st most traded stock on the Nairobi Stock Exchange over the past 3 months. That's from March 30th to July 4th, 2022. It has traded a volume of 247,600 shares in 265 deals, valued at about 806,000 Kenyan shillings. And that is Longhorn Publishers for you. Of course, the issuers of the Longhorn company stock on the Nairobi Stock Exchange have quite a number of market competitors who are also engaged in consumer services. And these include Car and General Kenya Limited, Homeboys Limited Entertainment, Standard Group, Nation Media, Express, among others, like, of course, Nairobi Business Ventures as well. That is Longhorn Publishers for you there, and he was the top gainer as of yesterday. Now let's look at the entire market here. The Nairobi market, that is the NSE in Nairobi, has 4 main market segments, actually 4 market listings. And the main one, which is the main investment market segment, is for the large enterprises. The alternate investment market segment is for the medium enterprises, while the fixed income securities market segment, of course, caters for the corporate and government bonds, whereas the growth enterprise market segment caters for the young enterprises that are just starting and, of course, looking to obtain some money from the capital markets. Definitely, the banks here are quite many, including Absa, KCB, and the like. But let's look at how they performed as per yesterday. Now, Absa Bank of Kenya, which is one of the companies there listed on the exchange, traded about 28,800 shares, and it ended the day with 10.7, Kenyan shillings price, for each share. And that was a gain of about 0.1 cents of Kenyan shillings. And then Bamburi Cement Limited at about 1,300 shares that were traded yesterday, ended with 34 cents as their, Kenyan value, as their, price, and they lost about 0.35 Kenyan shillings there. Britam Holdings Limited was another company there that did some activity with 24,500 shares that were traded and the price of 5.14 Kenyan shillings and a loss of about 0.44 Kenyan shillings there. East African Cables traded about 5,000 shares, 5,100 shares at 1 Kenyan shillings each. Then CIC Insurance Group at 2.1 Kenyan shillings traded about 47,200 shares. And down to other companies that had some activity like Cooperative Bank of Kenya, Crown Paints of Kenya, and then Diamond Trust Bank Kenya Limited also had some activity. Equity Group Holdings had some good activity there and was among the gainers on the market yesterday. Then Stanlib Fahari Income REIT was also among one of the losers there in the market yesterday and among the market movers there for the same matter. Standard Chartered at 42,000 shares that were traded, each at 124, was also among the movers. And Safaricom, which is one of the biggest movers, traded about 7.6 million shares, each at 27.45 Kenyan shillings. Now let's look at the summary. At the end of the day of the first week day of trading on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, a total of 14.475 shares was traded in 1,129 deals. Previous, of course, corresponding to a market value of 439 million Kenyan shillings that was traded. Compared with the previous Nairobi Stock Exchange trading day, Friday, 1st of July, the data shows about 40% decline in volume and a 46% decline in turnover. And the current market capitalization of the Nairobi Stock Exchange is 2.01 trillion Kenyan shillings. In the aggregate, 47 Nairobi Stock Exchange listed equities participated in trading, ending with 25 gainers and 8 losers. And Centum Investment Company led the gainers with 9.76% share price appreciation, closing at 9.9 Kenyan shillings per share. And of course, he was followed by Olympia Capital Holdings, Stanley Fahari, and others on the market. And then the volumes, Safaricom traded the highest volume of about 7.88 million shares that were traded. He was followed by Equity Group Holdings at 3.11 million shares that were traded. And then KCB Group at 1.78 million shares. And Cooperative Bank of Kenya at 486,900 shares. Regarding the performance of the Nairobi Stock Exchange market indices, the benchmark index, the Nairobi Stock Exchange All Share Index, inched up by 4.24 points to about 3.39%, to close at 129.18. That index has been, between 118, 120 for quite some time, but now we are seeing it going into 129 and above. So we are seeing some progress in as far as the All Share Index is concerned. It was, of course, representing a 1-week gain of 10.52% and a 4-week loss of 0.43% and an overall year-to-date of 22.4%. That is the Nairobi Stock Exchange for you there. Now let's move to Johannesburg and other stock exchanges as well around the world. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange is the largest exchange in Africa, and we cannot do without data from what is on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. As the principal stock exchange of South Africa, it is, of course, located in the affluent municipality of Sandton. in Johannesburg. Founded in 1887, it's the oldest stock exchange in Africa, but also the largest, and it was formed after the South African gold rush. Let's look at the J203, which is the index that is the benchmark of their company's performance. The index went down by 254.41 points. That's a 0.38% decline in points, and it went down to as low as 65k. Below, above a little bit above 65,000 points. Some of the movers here on the summary we had regarding the indices, regarding actually the total performance, about 331 Johannesburg Stock Exchange securities listed equities participated in trading, ending with 226 gainers and 69 losers on the market. AfriStat Investment Holdings led the gainers at 30% share price appreciation, closing at about 0.13 rands per share. And of course, it was followed by Exemplar Retail and Rebosis Property Fund, as well as Finbond Group, who of course were some of the gainers. On the losing side, we had Lesaka Technologies, who came out last with an end of day price depreciation of 17.4% at 70.21 rands per share. And he was followed by PSG Consult at 14.18% drop as well. The data shows that at the end of the day's trading session, the first week day of trading, a total of 204 million shares was traded, and it was traded in 246,000 deals, corresponding to a market value of 19.19 billion that were traded on the market. Compared with the previous day of trading, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange trading day, the data shows 11% decline in volume and 21% decline in turnover, while 27% decline in deals was witnessed. The current market capitalization has not changed that much on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange at 19.8 trillion rand that was traded on the market. That is the East Africa, actually Johannesburg Stock Exchange for you there. One of the stock exchanges that is very, very prominent on the African stock exchange market. Of course, you can invest across borders, and there is no problem at all. And of course, stockbrokers around here in Uganda can help you access stocks elsewhere on the continent, and as well as across other continents as well. You just need to have to be willing to invest, be willing to keep up with the stock market, be willing to persist and benefit from some of these opportunities that are presented to us by these financial markets. Let's move to Nigeria and see how Nigeria Stock Exchange performed for the day. Now, the Nigeria Stock Exchange is a leading integrated market infrastructure in Africa, servicing the continent's largest, that is Nigeria. And the exchange provides capital access to companies seeking to take advantage of the financial markets to fund their businesses' expansion. Likewise, the Nigerian Stock Exchange provides its pool of domestic, regional, and international investors in an array of regulated securities to achieve their investment objective. In March 2021, the erstwhile Nigerian Stock Exchange demutualized and was a member-owned non-profit entity into a shareholder-owned company and a profit-making entity called the Nigerian Exchange Group Public Limited Company. Looking at their index for the very first time in a very long time, it went down by about 38.22 points, as you can see on the graph. But we can't see, of course, a steady rise from last year, which has now seen the exchange above the 50,000 points mark. But just of yesterday, the points dropped by 0.07%, and that is about 38.22 points drop there in the market. The Nigerian Stock Exchange maintains three categories of listings. The Premium Board, that is the elite group of companies that meet the stringent corporate governance, capitalization, and liquidity criteria. Then we also have the Main Board, which is the larger companies who are admitted to the bourse based on profitability or market capitalization. Then also the Alternative Securities Exchange. This is for the smaller, high growth, emerging businesses. And of course, now looking at the listings here, the trading summary for the day at the end of the first weekday of trading on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, a total of 194 million shares was traded in about 4,899 deals, corresponding to a market value of about 2.8 billion Nigerian nairas. And they compared with the previous day of trading, that is 1st of July, Friday. The data shows 53% improvement in volume, and then 65% improvement in turnover, and about 32% improvement in the deals that were made on the exchange. The current market capitalization is about 27.9 trillion Nigerian nairas there. In aggregate, a total of 101 out of the 156 listings participated in trading yesterday, ending with about 17 gainers and 19 losers. And the Fidson Healthcare company led the gainers with 9.82% share price appreciation, closing at 12.3 cents per share. It was followed by LAN Africa and then UPDC and Prestige Assurance Company. On the losing side, however, we had definitely MRS Oil Nigeria, who came out last with an end-of-day price depreciation of about 11.08%. Now, regarding the performance of the NGX market indices, the benchmark index, which is the all-share index, compared, of course, with the previous day, it had about 38.22, which is an increase in points to close at 51,791 points, representing a one-week loss of 0.33% and a four-week loss of 2.11%, but an overall year-to-date gain of 21.24%. That is the remarkable Nigerian Stock Exchange. Remember, you can invest across the board. There is no problem. All you have to have is information and investment advisory who are giving you exactly what you need to know and getting to know what time to invest where, because different places have different seasons. It could be good for Nigeria today, it could be bad for Nigeria tomorrow. So you just need to have information and professional people who can guide you. And those are the stock brokers there. We're going into a short break. When we return, we'll give you some of the top stories making headlines in the financial market scene.